the previous class we have discussed about 3D packings, and from that concept we get two types of voids, which are actually the tetrahedral voids and octahedral voids. Okay, and we also able to know that if the number of sphere or the number of atoms which are present in that 3D packing is n, then the number of octahedral void will be the same. That means the number of octahedral void will be the same as the number of the atoms which will going to actually form that packing structure. Okay, and the number of tetrahedral voids is actually double of that number of the atoms or sphere which produce that packing. Okay, packing structure. But the thing is that we did not prove this one. Okay, but interestingly we can prove this one by using some interesting approach. Okay, so for that actually we need a crystal unit cell. Okay, so let us suppose we have a unit cell which is FCC. So FCC means what? Face centered cubic unit cell. Okay, or we already know that the FCC unit cell can be also represented by CCP. That means cubic closed packing. Okay, this one or this one. So we have this FCC unit cell. So we know that from the previous classes, we know that the total number of atoms, or you can say the constituent particles, or you can even say that spheres for FCC is equal to 4. Why 4? Because we already know that how many atoms will be present at the corner of the FCC unit cell. Total 8 atoms will be present at the corner. Okay, total 8 corners are there, no? So 8 atoms will be present at the corners, and each atom will going to contribute 1 by 8. Okay, to that unit cell. This is contribution from corners. Okay, and the total 6 atoms will be present at the face of that. Total how many faces are there? Total 6 faces are there, no? So 6 atoms will be present at the center of the each faces. Okay, total 6 atoms will be present, and total 1 by, that means half contribution will be come from one face centered atom. Okay, so total it will be what? It will be your 1 plus 3. Okay, 3, that means 4. Understand? That's why the total number of atoms present in case of FCC is equal to 4. So we have this information. Okay, so now let us find out the number of tetrahedral voids, or now let us prove this concept. Okay, so first of all we are going to locate first. So our first objective is actually locate the tetrahedral void. Okay, locate the tetrahedral voids. So for this one, what we need? Obviously we need a lattice or unit cell. Okay, so we have already FCC. Okay, we have FCC lattice. So we already know that the number of sphere or atoms for FCC is equal to 1. So number of atoms for this FCC is equal to 4. Understand? So now what we have to calculate? First we have to locate. Okay, so we have to find out where actually the tetrahedral voids are present in that FCC unit cell. Okay, and the second thing is that we have to calculate the number of tetrahedral voids. Understand? So for that we need the FCC unit cell. So let's suppose this is the FCC unit cell, which is shown in this figure. Actually figure 1. Okay, figure 1. Actually I am taking this figure from your NCERT book. Okay, so here actually we can divide this FCC unit cell into 8 small cubes. Okay, as shown this figure. Okay, and here you see in one small cube, total how many constituent particle or atoms are present? Total 4 atoms are present. Okay, so we can we can actually join these atoms by using some straight line, and it will actually going to give you regular tetrahedron. That means actually this is actually your tetrahedral void. Actually this represents your tetrahedral void. So that's what we can say. In one cube, okay, one small cube, one tetrahedral void is present. So how many total how many cubes are present in this FCC unit cell? Total 8 cubes are present. Okay, so that means total 8 tetrahedral voids are present in FCC unit cell. Understand? So that means what we can say here, that means number of tetrahedral voids present in FCC. Okay, and this FCC is equal to 8. Okay, so here 8, that means 8 we can write here 2 into 4. Okay, so that means what? You see, the number of atoms is equal to 4. Okay, atoms or sphere is equal to 4. If the number of atoms or sphere is 4, then it will be 2 into 4. That means here you see this is the number of tetrahedral void is equal to twice n. So this one is proved. Understand? Clear? So this is for FCC, because for FCC we know that number of atoms will be 4. That means in case of FCC unit cell, the number of tetrahedral voids will be 8. Understand? So now we're going to discuss about the second one, which is actually locate the octahedral void. Octahedral voids. Okay, so again we will going to take the same FCC unit cell. So for this one also the same thing, number of atoms or number of number of the sphere which is present in that FCC will be 4. Understand? Now what we have to calculate? So first we have to locate. Okay, we have to find out where actually octahedral voids are present, and then we have to calculate the number of octahedral voids. Okay, so we have to first find out where it is present, and then we have to find out the number of it. Okay, so first let us again we can we can represent this FCC as shown in this figure. Actually 2. Okay, figure 2. Here two figures are there. Okay, one is figure 2.A and 2.B. So here if you look at the figure 2.A, then here you see how many constituent particles or atoms are present in each phases, at the center of each phases. There are 6 now. So if we join the these 6 atoms by using this line, then we will going to get, actually we will get the regular octahedron. Actually this is nothing but your octahedral void. That means one body centered octahedral void will be present first. Okay, and again if you see this figure 2B, then you see total how many edges are there in this unit cell. Total 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. Total 12 edges are there. Okay, and at the each edge is actually one. If you only consider one edge, then at this edge one octahedral void will be present, you see. But the thing is that here in this octahedral voids only 3 atoms will be contributed from this unit cell to form this, or to make this, or to form this octahedral voids, and the other 3 atoms will be come from the adjacent 2 unit cells. Understand? So there is only 3 here. You see this 3, 2 are coming, actually 2 are from the corners and 1 is from the body center, or sorry, face center. Actually the face center. Okay, this face center, and the other 2 are coming from the corners, and the other 3 are actually coming from the 2 adjacent unit cells. Okay, so total how many edges are there? Total 12 edges are there. So total we have total 12 octahedral voids are present at the 12 edges of this unit cell. But the thing is that here the one edge, you see this edge is actually one edge is actually this shared. Okay, this edge is shared between total 4 unit cells. So one edge is shared between 4 unit cells. That means if you only consider only this octahedral void, amongst these 12 octahedral voids. Okay, so here you see we already know that the one edge is shared between total 4 unit cells. That means this octahedral void is also shared equally between 4 unit cells. That's why we have to divide this one 4. Why? Because we have to only calculate the number of octahedral voids which are present inside that unit cell, not outside. Okay, so we have to divide it 4, because it will going to shared between total 4 unit cells. Okay, so only 1/4 of this octahedral voids is present inside that unit cell. Okay, so total how many octahedral voids are present in total 12 edges? 12 octahedral voids are present. Okay, but here we have to divide each of these octahedral void by 4, because only 1/4 of that octahedral voids will be inside that unit cell. Okay, so we have to divide this one. Okay, so it will be what? 1 plus 4 is equal to 1 plus 3 is equal to, because this will be 3 now, is equal to your 4. So that's what we can say. You see, so if the number of atoms or sphere present in that unit cell is equal to 4, then the number of octahedral void is also equal to 4. That means it will be same. Hence this is proved. Now this concept is proved. Understand? So thus in this class we actually first locate the tetrahedral voids, also locate the octahedral voids. Additionally, we also calculate the number of tetrahedral as well as octahedral voids. Hope you understand this calculations. So in the next class we are going to discuss about the packing efficiency, okay, of different unit cells, which are very important for your exam. Okay,